Hello, I am so excited for you guys to be tuning in today with Brittany Petty of Ingeniously Made Whole. Today, we're going to be talking about the inner child in you, 11 things that your inner child needs to hear as you are growing up. And it's so important because a lot of times we do things in life not realizing it's because of that inner child that's inside of us. And there's some things that we need to deal with. It doesn't matter if you're a male or a female, there are different things that we need to deal with in our childhood because we don't even realize how that affects us as we move throughout life and through the different stages of life, as we go from adulthood just to many stages in life, parenting, working in our careers, being an impact and just doing the things that we desire to do in life. We don't even realize how not dealing with our inner child proves to affect us. But before we get into all of that, I am Brittany Petty. I am the CEO of Ingeniously Made Whole, where we serve to empower our teens and our young adults to overcome mental health challenges so they can achieve their goals to attend college, develop a trade, or start a business, all with confidence and being healed and being whole. Okay. So today, before we get started, I want you, if you haven't started yet, go follow me on Instagram at Ingeniously Made Whole. At this point now, you'll see two different accounts. It doesn't matter which one you choose to follow. You will still be up to date with all of our exciting things that are coming out. And also, I would love you to go to focusyoursuccess.com, download my free 11 tips on how to overcome mental health challenges. It's just different ways that you can overcome those challenges and work together in your family. It doesn't have to be something where you feel alone on this journey while you're navigating your mental health and just becoming and stepping into a better you. It's for everyone to work together. So let us go ahead and get started. So first I want to start with a quote. The name of this quote is by Thich Nhat Hanh. It says, "The cry we hear from deep in our hearts comes from the wounded child within. Healing this inner child's pain is the key to transforming anger, sadness, and fear." So I'm going to read it one more time. "The cry we hear from deep in our hearts comes from the wounded child within. Healing this inner child's pain is the key to transforming anger, sadness, and fear," by Thich Nhat Hanh. And this quote really stands out to me because a lot of times in life, we're taught to just, when things happen, just push on and keep going. But the reality of it is that's not healing. We're not dealing with things. We're sweeping it under the rug. And when you sweep enough things under the rug, that rug is going to pile up. And before you know, you're not going to be able to even step over it because it's just so much. And we have to stop normalizing that that's okay. But we have to start normalizing that it's okay to take a break. It's okay to acknowledge your feelings. It's okay to journal. It's okay to get some help. It's okay to talk to someone. Just because you're talking to a mental health therapist, that doesn't mean that something's wrong with you. It just means that I need to talk. I need to get some things off my chest. And I just need some insight from someone who is non-biased. And so I just think it's important for us to deal with our inner child because, not dealing with it causes us to lash out. And we know that nowadays we can't do things the way that our parents might have done things. And so we have to be that change maker, that change agent, and do things differently. But how can you do things differently if you didn't have a clear picture of what that looks like? Just like when it comes to marriage, a lot of people don't have a clear example of what that looks like. Everybody's household is ran different. And so it's important to understand when it comes to you and your household to do things in the best of your capacity, but always be willing to grow. Have an open mind. Know that, okay, you know what? We got to do something different because if not, we're going to keep getting those same results. So when it comes down to parenting, we have to realize that, okay, the way we were parented is not necessarily the best way to parent our own children. And there might have been some good things that happened in your parenting journey or as you were being parented in that journey that you can apply. But, I've talked to many people and a lot of us are realizing that we have to do some things differently in order to reach our children, especially when you have children at the various stages. And so for me, I'm at all the stages. I'm in elementary, I'm in the pre-K, elementary, middle, and high school. And so it's important to, understand that we have to meet our children's needs, but understand the best way to meet their needs where they understand that you are the parent, most definitely. But in a way that makes it to where our children can feel comfortable and safe coming to speak with us and talk to us day in and day out. And I think that that's so important because, like I tell people, for me growing up, I didn't feel that I could go and talk to my parents. I was scared to go and talk to my parents. And so in that situation, I feel like now there are a lot of people who are in that same boat as well. But now they're seeing the effects of, okay, do we want our children to be able to just tell us anything? And it doesn't mean I have to be their friend. And I think a lot of times people get that misconstrued, thinking that we have to be our children's friends in order for them to open up. But that's not the case. It's important to have that boundary set, but also letting them know that as your parent, I want to know firsthand. I want to be here to help you and go through it all with you, the highs, the lows, the ups and the downs, and just go through it all. But today we're going to be talking about listening to your inner child. There's 11 things that you need to know and that your inner child needs to hear. So we're going to start with number one. Number one is you matter. Telling yourself that you matter is so important because no one is going to tell you that you matter and you actually believe it unless you know 100% without a doubt that you matter. It starts from within. And so whatever you have to do to understand that you have a purpose here on earth and that you matter, you got to do it. You have to take the time to soul search and do it. Number two, you are safe now. Some people have, I don't know what your background is, but some people have a challenged background where, for example, they just don't feel safe. They just didn't feel safe growing up. Maybe you were in and out of foster care homes. Maybe you were abused as a child, mentally, physically. Maybe you were sexually abused. You have to tell yourself that, you know what, I am safe now. Because the thing is, we cannot beat ourselves up for things that were out of our control. Number three, you are loved. People can tell you all day long that they love you, but their actions don't show it. That means nothing. And we have to stop being that person who's willing to give more love to others than we give to ourselves. Just like filling our cup starts with us. We can't pour anything we don't have. We cannot love anyone if we don't love ourselves. And so it starts with you. We have to show ourselves love, give ourselves grace. And then from there, that's when we're able to give love and grace to others. Number four, your happiness matters. So we live in a world thinking that our opinions, our views don't matter, that being happy is on some island far away. You won't embrace it and look for it and desire it day in and day out because you don't believe that it's within your arm or your hand's reach. And so that's why it's so important for us to say, you know what? My happiness, it matters. And so when we are making decisions and we're doing things, I understand in life we have to make sacrifices. We have to do some things that we're like, okay, do I really want to do that? Do I not want to do that? Different things of that nature, but it's so important. I'm telling you, it is so important for us to stop and say, you know what, in the midst of everything, that I know that my happiness is important, my happiness matters, and no one can take that away from me. So with that being said, it depends on your view in life. Do you know that you are in control of your happiness? Because if you are looking for other people or things to make you happy, you will never be happy. Because that other person is human. They cannot live up to your standard of happiness. Things are temporary. So it's just like a new toy. Your children are so excited to have it, right? And then boom. Or that new purse, once you get it. Okay. So it's important to understand that you have to do what makes you happy. You have to channel yourself, figure out what that is. If it's getting connected closer and closer to God so you can truly be happy, then that's what it is, right? Number five, your feelings are valid. So understanding that your feelings are valid, tremendously important. Because there's times we'll have arguments or conversations with people and they will dismiss our feelings. We sit there and we listen to them, but they will dismiss our feelings. But at the end of the day, we have to understand that it's not personal. It's not. I literally just sat in a training with Rocky Garza, guys. If y'all don't know what that is, go follow him. This man is phenomenal. And he helps you to channel. When we get mad when people say things to us, we have to check ourselves. It's nothing personal. That is a missed opportunity for them. So don't you go and get yourself upset. Like, whatever it is, we have to understand that your feelings are valid. You feel this way for a reason. So you have to acknowledge your feelings. And if other people don't want to see it, there's nothing we can do about that. But state the facts, stay on topic, let people know how you feel. And when you tell people how you feel, it's their choice to A, say, you know what, I was wrong. I know that I hurt you. Or B, they're going to continue to do things the way they do. And if they do, then that means you need to make a decision, period. Number 6, what happened to you was not your fault. This is so important because we need to understand that, you know what is in your control is in your control, but what's out of your control is out of your control. And I just want you to take a deep breath on that one. Because so many times we hold that inside of us with that inner child, you know, holding on to the things that were out of our control. We don't get to pick our families when we come here and live on earth, when God has blessed us to come here on earth, because he already knows where we formed in our mother's womb. And we don't get to choose, you know, our family ties or anything like that. So it's just important to understand, you know, the lifestyle that we, you know, had growing up from 0 to 18, that's not our fault. But I do have control once I become an adult on what is my control. And so I have to do what is within my control to change that lifestyle if I don't like it. And number 7, what do you need right now? And that's important because a lot of times if you grow up, you know, not having a say so in your household, you'll grow up and realize that I don't know what I want. I don't know what I need, because my feelings and my needs was never validated, or I was never to even express that. And so it's important when you become an adult, talk to yourself. Ask yourself, what is it that I need? What do I need right now? Number 8, you will get through this. We got to talk to ourselves. Okay? Just like the song that says, encourage yourself. Sometimes you have to encourage yourself. Talk to yourself. Push yourself through. And those are the inner battles that no one ever knows that you are fighting. Number 9, other people's moods are not your fault. Understanding that other people's moods are not your fault is so important, because when we walk into a room, the tone is set. You can feel the energy, whether it's negative, whether it's positive. But you have to understand that that has nothing to do with you. Unless, of course, you're the one causing the havoc. Number 10, your voice is important. And so it's important to understand that my voice matters. Just like everyone else can have an opinion, God created everyone to be different. Your voice matters. And number 11, I'm here for you. Because we have to start making sure that we show up for ourselves. Because in life, what happens is many times people don't show up for them. They show up for everybody, but they don't show up for themselves. So my challenge to you is to ask yourself these 11 questions. Speak to yourself. Show up for yourself. And allow yourself to know that no matter what happens in your life, that you can overcome anything you put your mind to. Thank you guys for tuning in to this episode today, listening to your inner child. I feel like this is so important because in life, so many things happen and we don't take the time to stop and think. We pass the blame, we point to everyone, but we have to stop and think and look at ourselves, look in the mirror and say, what is it that I need? And it's okay to start over. It's okay. But make sure you follow me on Ingeniously Made Whole. on Instagram, Facebook, and also make sure you follow me on TikTok at IMW Counselor Petty. I love you guys. And again, thank you guys so much for tuning in to my episode. Go follow me, go subscribe to focusyoursuccess.com. We have some great things coming out. Make sure you download my 11 ways to overcome mental health challenges. Peace out.